Guys, today I'm going to honestly explain to you what MCP server and this entire agentic trend that is going on today. So let's start. An MCP server is a process that is running, okay? But it only runs when it is needed. An example of that process is this one, a Python script, and let us take a look at the content of this process. So this is an MCP server. It's 31 lines of code, including the comments, and there is another process who will execute this main.py MCP process, and that other process is the AI or the LLM. In my case here is the cloud LLM. All right, and the cloud LLM has a JSON configuration that is pointing to this script. That JSON configuration is, in my case here, is here, and the content of that is this. So Cloud knows how to run main.py if needed. Okay, so let's go back to the main.py process, which is the MCP server. Inside this Python script, it can have a lot of functions, but there are special functions here that have special meaning. Those that have been decorated with this MCP tool decorator. So this add node is now a function dot that the cloud LLM will take special interest. So this function simply appends a message into a notes.txt text file. This okay, it just writes a message there and append to the file. That's all. This one is just an ordinary function. The LLM does not care for this, but since this one has the decoration, then this one has a special interest to the LLM. The way that LLM can make sense of this function, and in fact, it is the mechanism by which the AI uses to when to call this function, is this description here, this comment description, this one. So the meaning of this comment or what's written here, the concept, the semantic meaning is what the AI will use to decide whether this function will be needed. And that is what is meant by context, the model context. So the LLM will remember the comment here, append a new note to the sticky notes file. We will see it in action. Okay. And I will tail the file, an empty file here. Right now it is empty, and I will open the cloud LLM. Remember that there's a JSON file that links the two, so the cloud LLM knows when to run the process. So right now, the cloud is aware of the MCP server, and let us double check. And here it is, demo and add note. So different LLM, different user interfaces. Just double check that they see each other. Now Let me start talking. Take note to water the plants every morning. You can see here the concept of watering the plants every morning is been written into the text file. And you can see here that there's a JSON format where the LLM and the MCP server uses to communicate to each other. While this one has the word note, so it invokes a call to the add note function of the main.py Python script, but it does not end there. By just saying like remember mom's upcoming birthday, this one does not have the word note here, but the concept is the same. And so the message gets appended to notes.txt. And this here is the core meaning of how this LLM brings value to software or revolutionizes, changes the meaning of software today. The invocation of API uses the semantics of the English language and maps them to callable functions. For example, if I will ask who is the smartest guy alive today, and this question or this conversation does not involve of any taking notes. So there's no notes taking here, so it answers differently. But if the question or of the conversation have this gist or concept of try to remember it or taking notes, then that is where the Python script function that we saw a while ago will be invoked and the notes will be taken and appended to the file. So this is the core essence of what an MCP server and the value proposition of how the vector similarity algorithm of LLM today is being used to to drive innovations in software. Actually, um, this whole thing brings a lot of nostalgia to me personally. Around like many years ago, like 20 years ago, this is not exactly the same, but there is a shadow similarity. The Microsoft's component object model have this universal function called the query interface. And the query interface accepts a universally unique identifier of an interface. So what happened here is many functions have been standardized to interfaces, which is a group of methods like certain activities that belongs to each other becomes an interface and gets associated to a universally unique identifier. And that is what is the core concept that drives the COM. And at that time, I was aware that you really have need to know the value of the UUID in order to call those group of functions. So here we are in 2025, where the AI uses the English language, right, to decide what function to call. So as you can see, this is really interesting and it is something that is not far from what we have tried before, but now it's becoming conversational and English language, or I mean, technically the semantic of the meaning of the words is the driver of that is used by the AI to decide which function to call. So I hope this explanation shades some light and enlightens us, you, my friends, the core essence of what an MCP server is. It is just a process, and the agentic movement uses the semantics of English language to decide in autonomous manner which function to call. So you have to we we expect that our programs will be documented and to describe what it's trying to do, because the LLM is going to use that to decide when to call those functions, such as what we are seeing here. Thank you.